I want to clear up some confusion. You may have heard terms like PageRank, domain rank, authority rank, all these kinds of terms. They are really confusing. So let me tell you the history of them and whether they're important today and what you should pay attention to. So imagine we were transported back in time in 2010, the good old times, the simpler times. So in 2010, Google had a public domain rank number. Every website had a domain rank. If you're new on day one, you had a domain rank of 1, and the domain rank was in the range of 1 to 100. So if you're like Facebook or Google itself, you were like 99. I don't know if anybody had 100, but basically the scale is from 1 to 100. So if you have a small mom and pop shop kind of a website, maybe you reach up to 10, maybe up to 20. If you have a small business, maybe like a little bigger, 30, 40. If you have a big website, like let's say one of the bigger websites, but not like the biggest websites, but a really well-known website, maybe you were in the 70s and 80s, and that domain rank, it was public information, and it was really a close approximation of where you would expect to rank. Like if your domain rank was 50 and a competitor was 45, and you pushed yours up, or the competitor who was 45 pushed theirs up to 55, they had a high chance of outranking you. So this domain rank was a huge focus for website owners, huge. And it still is, mistakenly, because it's a relic. So today, Google doesn't even publicly publish what your website's page rank or domain rank might be. They use that internally in their algorithms, but you don't know what it is, because it just created a bad space in the SEO industry, because everybody was trying to pursue this fake or semi-fake kind of inorganic number, and there became a lot of services who tried to sell, I will link to you from high domain rank websites and you'll get a high authority links and all this. So it created all these bad spammy services, and it was just a bad environment. So Google said no more. Now fast forward to today, you still have many people selling you. If you go on Fiverr.com, you'll have many people selling you authority links from a high authority domain, etc., high page rank, etc. Those numbers are so easy to understand, scale of 1 to 100, so easy, that it's still used, but it's no longer effective. Now, some marketing companies, these aren't people who are trying to sell you services, but like software, like SEMrush, SEOmoz. These are some of the biggest and most authoritative names in the SEO space. They're trustworthy. They created their own approximations of that number because that number was so good. You have domain rank, page rank. These aren't official numbers, but they approximate what Google's value might be. And usually it's more or less accurate, but it's not the number. It's an approximation. So where does that leave us? Number one, you have to understand that nobody knows that number for sure. It's private to Google. So if somebody's trying to sell you links or domains from like an authoritative website, you really want to evaluate that with a second and third and fourth look very skeptically. What are they really selling you? Don't fall for those scams anymore. Now, the next question is, should you use websites like SEOmoz and SEMrush to help you understand what your approximately what your score might be? I don't think you should use it only for that. They are good tools, but I'll tell you that they are paid and they're not cheap. They're made for corporations. A few years ago, Moz had a forever free plugin you can use, and I used to promote it in the scores because it was free. That changed. Now even the plugin requires you to pay, so I stopped suggesting people get that plugin because you really don't need that score, because you approximately know what your score is, and to be honest, that score, even if it was public, is far less impactful to your actual ranking. This is what we're after. We want to rank higher, and this score used to be very impactful. Now it's less because other factors are more impactful, like the actual quality of the content. So this video, the takeaway, if you were to take one takeaway from this video is those scores, don't fall for them. Your attention to them should be maybe like 10-15%, not much more. Don't spend any money pursuing high authority. Focus on higher quality, because today Google's AI, that they use to understand your pages is so good that they don't need those metrics, the authority, whatever. They can evaluate page by page and tell really good how your page compares to your competitors' pages. That's the main takeaway. Don't fall for those scams. And the websites that give you the approximations, they're kind of paid, so they are good to use for more sophisticated uses, and we'll get to those as we go through the course. But don't just get those websites for telling your domain or website authority rank and all that. So that's the history of the score. That's the confusion, and hopefully now you understand how to view it long term.